Hi, everybody. This is Tom with Culture Chap. So, today I want to talk to you about a video that did pretty well, and I didn't really cover one topic. So, what I was talking about was being in rehearsal clothes, having good rehearsal clothes, or getting a shot at your real costume for periods during rehearsal. Very important. If you are having a sword fight in boots, you can't wear flip flops or sandals the whole time you rehearse. That kind of thing. So I got a very good response, and I want to further continue it from something a friend of mine sent me, and it's true. It's the Christmas season, and people are doing some amazing shows, and they're getting into some amazing costumes, doing panto, doing traditional things like Christmas Carol, and a lot of these friends are in costumes that they didn't get a chance to rehearse in the whole time, and there was a big learning curve once they got into first dress and tech and so forth, mostly during tech. But it made their tech a lot longer. And I know a lot of you have had very bad instances where tech has taken forever. We need to make it easier. We need to make it smoother. No one likes a long tech period where something is new and is just not working, okay? And today, I think I want to start with simple things, which are things that you wear on your head. Last time it was just clothing, but things you wear on your head. Now, the example I'm thinking of are two examples. One is false teeth. Now, everybody loves to really transform into these amazing characters, and I'm going to show you a picture here of Helena Bonham Carter in Cinderella with her false teeth. Now, she had time to get used to these false teeth, and she says she loves makeup like that, so she's done it a few times. But what if you're new to that? She's wearing false uppers on her teeth for this character to give her sort of a crazy look. Had she not practiced her lines, maybe every line, before she had done this, she might be in for some surprises. You know, it's just like when someone who's had an accident, or an older person, or somebody gets false teeth or dentures or temporary replacement teeth after they've had an accident, and the way they speak changes. And if you hear certain older actors, especially on TV, where there's different sounds to their voice, and it's a little more like this, and there's S's. Now, it's not because they're being lazy with their speech. It's because that difference in their mouth is creating something that they need to get used to. So talking over that, talking through that, is something you need to prepare yourself for. So if you're wearing false teeth, like a few of my friends are, while they're doing these ghostly apparitions in the Christmas Carol, you need to rehearse in those things. I know that seems like, oh, what a huge pain during rehearsal, but do yourself a favor. At some time, pick a couple of rehearsals and rehearse in them. Maybe it'll make you too crazy to do it rehearsal after rehearsal from the beginning. Maybe you're rehearsing for 4 weeks and it's just making you nuts because rehearsal periods are usually a lot longer than your 2-hour show period. Get used to them. Now, the other thing that we almost never do is wigs. I'm going to show you Tilda Swinton from Trainwreck. Amazing transformation. In fact, a lot of people didn't believe it was her. There's a lot of people doing shows, men and women, who are wearing wigs for different characters. And not all the wigs are just these perfect little things that plop on. You know, even if you're doing Marie Antoinette and those men's wigs are basically really coiffed and hairsprayed and they just sort of sit on top of you like a helmet and you sort of move with them. Tilda Swinton's wig in this was very loose. There was a lot of brushing it out of her face. You know, a lot of the action of the character had to do with the hair and what to do with the hair. So if that's something you're doing, maybe you're playing a romantic male lead and it's lots of loose hair and you're not used to it because you have short hair, or the hair comes forward during a scene. I know I just ruined the sound. If the hair comes forward during a scene and you didn't know it was going to do that and get in your mouth, that kind of thing, you need to have yourself prepared for that. Now, maybe you can't get a hold of the real wig that you're going to wear for the show because it has to be styled all the time. And every time you have a rehearsal or a performance, the wig has to be restyled. And that is a pain. Or you're in a theater that's slightly cheaper. It's a synthetic, and synthetics with use, they frizz and or they tangle, and you can't really, especially if they're curled, you can't really comb them out easily like you would a regular wig because it's plastic fibers and it stretches and the curl comes out or frizz or something else happens. So you have to be careful of those. Now, do your own research about what kind of wig you're wearing and what that means as far as your company and how it's going to be maintained. But say, please, for rehearsal, is there a cheap wig I can have to play with? Because wigs can be very inexpensive, the synthetic ones, that I can play with so I know how much is in my face, what it does when I bend over, what it does when I run around. It may be longer than you think. It may be more movement than you think. It may be stiffer than you think, and you had planned to, do some stuff with it for your character, or pull on it or twist it, to be a nervous character. That maybe doesn't work. Okay, maybe it's not a lot of things. It's not possible with that wig. If you have a synthetic wig and you're playing with it, and you're like, I'm nervous. I'm going to twirl this around my finger. But after a bunch of performances, that pulls out the curl or frizzes it really badly. So you had to think of something else or how to fake that. It's a lot of hair getting in the face kind of thing that I'm talking about. This seems to surprise a lot of people. And if you are a person who has short hair naturally, male or female, and you have to wear this big amount of hair, it can really throw you off if you've never rehearsed in it. I know this never comes up, but yes, false teeth, a wig, a hat that you have to wear that slips off easily, a wig that doesn't fit because your head is too big for the wig, how's that going to work? Or if you've chosen a theater that has, because of economic downturn, they have gotten rid of their wig staff. So beforehand, everybody helped you, and now it's just you. Have you ever put a wig on by yourself? Have you ever put in false teeth by yourself? Do you know the products that go in with the false teeth to keep them in place? Will that work for you? You need to do your own research if it's up to you to do this. A lot of places used to having help that no longer have it, or they have a less experienced person with that particular product, may not be able to help you. So it's up to you as an actor to figure out what you need to do your own research, okay? And especially any people that are having issues. You are wearing a wig for the first time as a fantasy character. You are wearing a wig as a first time as a male, and you have really short hair, and you don't know how to attach it because most of us take our hair and twist it into pin curls, cross it, and that is where the wig gets attached. Look these things up. Maybe you shave your head and you have to keep a wig on. How does that work for you? Get advice. If you are someone who suffers from the cold, anybody of any age can suffer from the cold, rheumatism-wise, arthritically, older people with arthritis. If you are in a show and your coworker needs help putting that wig on because their hands are suffering from the cold, from arthritis, from just being late to get to work, offer help. Always offer help. And offer that help every time. You never know what's happened to people's day. You never know how the cold of your area has affected anyone of that day. Maybe it's just a Butterfingers day, or maybe it's a Stiff Fingers day. Offer help every time and tell them, I'm on a schedule, so I can offer you help. Here we are at 7:15. I can offer you help now, but by 7:20, I have to be on stage for on-stage warm-ups. That kind of thing. Be very clear about it and keep it routine. Always help them. Always ask them if they need help, and be reliable, okay? And if you're doing this yourself, you do your research on how best to do this yourself. Whatever you're doing. Even if you're good with everything, but you're backed up today because you got there late and so forth, and you can't get your hat to be right because it doesn't quite fit your head, ask for help, all right? know what you're doing, and know how to keep things on your head. Because a lot of these shows, people tell disaster stories about how this thing fell off their head, these things fell out of their mouth, this thing fell off their ear. No. Do your research, find out how to keep these things on. If the wig falling off is not part of your shtick on stage, then it shouldn't happen. Okay? I know this you might think this is a silly video, and you might only work at theaters where you have help. You never know when that help is not available. So you should know what you're doing with everything that you're wearing. Okay? Everything. All right. Please like and subscribe. Subscribing really helps the channel. And I appreciate you, and we'll talk again. Okay. Good luck out there.